Okay, Will, can you remember when you first came to the Observatory Science Centre?
Yes, I can. Ages ago, I think 10 years ago.
What inspired you to get into astronomy? Was it your dad?
I'd say mostly my dad opened my eyes to it, but my inspiration has to be Patrick Moore.
When did you first meet Patrick Moore?
At the Observatory Science Centre, I believe, back in '07.
Did you remember the first thing you ever asked him?
This is going back a few years. I think I asked him why he went into it. Because he was originally in the RAF.
So I understand that you were very lucky to get an invitation down to Farthing's Patrick Moore's home. Do you remember going down there?
Just came out of school and my mum was holding this letter, and I'd been invited, funnily enough, to serve Patrick Moore's house, and it was so relaxed. That's the thing that really struck me, is how chilled out he was at home, and how you could just have a normal conversation with him. These huge telescopes, like the ones you see in the really old movies, they're really expensive, like brass and the wood, and they're all polished, and it's just so beautiful. And then you go outside into the amazing grounds he has.
So you were very young when you were inspired by astronomy.
I've always lived in a house full of like telescopes and everything like that, but I think through the inspiration that like they've both created, it's really led me to more, because obviously I've done it usually with my dad, and now it's come off, now I'm doing it on my own. He's kind of taught me how and where to go. When you take an interest in something, it makes learning so much easier, and it really has helped with my day-to-day life at school and at college now.
You've just completed your A-levels.
Yes.
And I understand congratulations are in order.
Thank you.
You got very, very good results. So what's next?
Hopefully university, hoping to study physics with theoretical physics, and then go just see where that takes me. I'm hoping to do research of some sorts.
So have you had any opportunity for any work experience to date?
Oh yes, from here it seems, because you had a speaker in, Dr. Roberto Trotter, such an amazing man, and I started speaking to him. He gave me his card, and this was probably 9 months later, just out of the blue, I emailed him asking if he was running anything like a summer school or a research project, and I got an email back, and I got a 6-week placement at Imperial College London, where the paper's just been published, so I'm over the moon, and it's all from here.
Not everyone is able to carry on their own dreams. Are you determined that one day you're going to be a teacher in science, a researcher in science? What would you really like to do?
Well, I've seen a fair few academics, such as Roberto, the guy I worked under, and just where he seemed to be in life, researching and teaching, it just seemed like he had it all, and it did seem amazing, and that's the moment where I really thought, this is what I want to do, this is what I can see myself doing in the future.
So I'm going to ask you a cheeky question now, Will.
Yeah.
Okay, so the love of the subject was introduced by your father.
Yes.
Have you surpassed your father yet?
Ooh, maybe with the maths and the physics, but definitely not the practical. I mean, my dad, I think, will always be easily 10 steps ahead of me, because I'm all right talking to him about the physics, but as soon as it comes to planting the telescope and looking around, he knows where everything is. I don't think I'll ever surpass him in that way. When my dad used to do it on his own, I think it's become him and I. It really has.
Absolutely, and although it might be a career for you, that enjoyment with your father of looking at the night sky through the telescopes, it's wonderful.
He's something else.
We've obviously seen you grow up here. It's lucky that we get to see you pretty much most years. So if we ask you back in a few years' time, would you be happy to come and lecture for us?
A pleasure, it really would be, because I've grown up with the lectures here to give something back.
So perhaps in a couple of years' time we can sit back here and see how you've got on with your venture to Oxford. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in the meantime, thank you ever so much, Will, for
Of
sharing
course,
your
of course.
life journey with us. And we wish you every success for the future, and any
Thank you.
institution or anywhere you get to study will be very lucky to have you.
Thank you.